Okay, this is going to be a brutal AI test here. I have on my system displayed what the CPU usage and RAM is. I just want to show this off. When you first start a match, for whatever reason, when you press enter, it takes a while. This is going to take roughly a minute, so if I edit anything out or speed it up, that's why. But you can see here at C12, the big red 100, that's how much of the core usage is being done, and then the temperature is right there. Underneath it, I have displayed my RAM just to show I'm not out of memory. There's plenty left. I have 62 gigs of DDR5 memory going at 4,800. Could overclock to 6,000 if I wanted. And yeah, it should be just fine. Like I should be able to handle this pretty easily. And the AI has to handle 2 units and can't build any units right now. So clearly, it is stuck on something. I don't know what that is. I went to cancel my last recording, so I'm like, well, this game's stuck. I'm gonna have to just force close it through a task manager, and then it's just started working again. So I got all scared of task manager. Here we go. Yes, we're at 1 minute and 25 seconds, 1 minute and 24, roughly, for it to just do that very simple turn. So clearly there's some optimization that is missing. Nonetheless, we're going to start analyzing the AI. It seems to be moving just easily. All of our units are down. I could potentially minimize the power charge by setting my unit to 1 HP so they don't get as much value. Now, they're only building infantry because they do not really start with any money. We're still building to the left here, but there are some buildings for it to capture. This is still building to the left like it was last time. We're getting some tanks on the right-hand side versus the infantry, so pretty massive lead here. Being able to take the harbor is also particularly interesting. The most important thing to note here is there still seems to be this left-right divide for how the CPU behaves, and typically you might be like, well, I'm fighting an AI, the computer's usually on the right hand, I'm on the left hand side. That's not always the case. In some maps, when you have an ally, you're on the same phase, like in The Last Stand with orange. So this behavior actually does matter, although not in every mission. Pushing our tank here by itself. Ooh, that is absolutely massive, being able to go for that. They usually didn't build these units super early. That extra income should be phenomenal. Pushing this tank over into a bunch of infantry, trying to prevent vehicles from being made. That RD is just not going to be able to do anything by itself. And moving through. Still doing some basic capture phase stuff. Flinches has such a massive lead, but he's just spamming infantry. You can use that as a shield for your vehicles and whatnot. That's pretty interesting. I guess we're using that infantry there to block some of the pathway, but it's clearly just not going to behave like that. Save it for a helicopter. We're starting to get differences between the COs. Yeah, no one had built that. Oh, I'm so glad we're getting some build diversity right now. Being able to take all of those rigs is phenomenal. Yeah, Blue's gonna be taking some damage. We're gonna recapture this. Because of how orange is being able to push and stop right now, top left hand corner should be the one winning. Pulling back, just get what the play here is. Attacking north and west. Interesting trade here. Building an anti-air, but not using it to guard versus the copters. Okay. We're getting some Navy battles in the center. Ooh, are we gonna get a third oil rig? 'Cause that's so much gold value. Oh wow, so they have 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're gonna see 4 potentially as well. So it's only the left-hand side that can do that. It's just so interesting. But 4 of those, that's an extra 8,000 gold. That's almost a tank in itself. Okay, getting some good first strike value, pushing the RD away from infantry for its spacing. Yeah, they didn't take their harbor super early. Flipping, oh, it's so much value. Okay, infantry is not really caring about the anti-air unit, which will get one tapped. I think both of them should die from the RD, but there's that tank you have to contend with. Now, the thing to note is, because they have the harbor, they can build naval units, and they're super expensive. Each one of those rafts is 4,500. So even though their oil rigs are producing a lot of value, so they'll be able to keep it, they're not being harassed by a helicopter. If they spam a lot of those units, they forgo like all of the advantages that they were just making. Yeah, okay. And they were able to protect the artillery there. That tank really shouldn't want to do anything. That's a really good position to be in. Okay, artillery's... What? Like they trap the artillery and then they just put everything in range? It's supposed to be a super defensive AI. I wonder if this brutal AI is different than the AI in the campaign. I wonder if only some of it got updated. Ooh, we're starting to lose some pressure on the oil rigs. That's pretty crucial. Okay, Decker seems to be in the lead right now. Yeah, this helicopter has been denying some gold value, but still got to remember 14,000 is its cost. Okay, helicopter. There's not a lot of anti-air right now. Ooh, absolute massive slice. That means pretty much everyone's powers are getting close. Obviously, we've been seeing a lot of combat in this part, so their charge is going to be a little higher. The medic. They chose to build a medic. Interesting. The other interesting part is the AI is only using its power for the greatest amount of value. It does not factor in its power for when it attacks. Doesn't think about it. It's like, oh, well, if I disable here and do an attack, I can get a massive push. It just goes, this is the greatest amount of value, and my charge is full, therefore I will use it here, and then I'll plan the rest of my move, which I find particularly interesting. It should mean that a player overall should get more value out of its power. Also, it's preventing that chopper from attacking is absolutely massive. Okay, attacking the... I don't know why you'd want to just take 8 damage. That makes absolutely no sense. You know what I could do? Maybe the next video I make on this game, I will rebuild a map from the campaign, and I will do roughly the same moves, or I'll try and do at least the same starting moves at the beginning, because they should respond the exact same, and see if the AI behaves differently. That'd be interesting. Yeah, we're going to be losing a lot of these oil rigs. Pushing more units. Just so much infantry. Flipping classic buildings. That's just kind of how Warside ends up. Not getting with the helicopter there, which is really interesting. This really is making me believe the skirmish brutal is not the same as the campaign brutal. Yeah, boxing is a pretty good strategy. In Advanced Wars by Web or other Advanced War games, you can do this with flying units, which you can't do in this game, thankfully, because you can just fly over them. I'm really glad that they decided to do that. Still just the leftmost for the check. I love that. That's a lot of value we're able to get out of plays. It's why I think they're one of the best CEOs or CEOs in the game. Just because you can get so much value. 5 HP off of every unit. It just makes so much money. And you can get, like, for a good push. Like, you take a good damage, power gets surged, you heal units basically back to full and do a retaliatory strike. That can just win the game with 1 power. That chopper is pretty much neutered at this point. We won't be able to do too much. Ooh, look at that strike. They were doing so well. They just kind of ate some value. Don't remember how long my last game took. I think I remember doing it myself in like 30 days. Yeah. Oh, we're building the specialty unit. We like to see it. We'll see how they use it. At least in the campaign, they basically never used it versus me. They'll just like walk up to some of my units and then just stop. Use it as a blocker. I don't get it. Okay, we're losing some sweet value. Taking over here. Destroying some infantry. What was that anti-air movement? What? Well, clearly it doesn't look like it's taking into account the enemy's pathing because there's units blocking, so they wouldn't be able to hit it. They just lost a $9,000 unit for nothing? Okay, so we got some pretty good strikes in here. They are fighting against 2 people. Okay, flipping the harbor like always. If they did it again, just move it. Weird. Weird play. Why do they move it? What? That's just nothing. They attack with a medic even though there's an infantry in range and they can use it to heal. What the hell? I'm sorry for swearing, but like, what? Well, clearly the AI got updated because before it couldn't build specialty units, and it did that with the tank that drives and blows itself up. Okay. Weird. Is the AI program per map? No. That'd be crazy if it was. But it's behaving so differently because oh, I wonder if it looks if the player's an AI CPU or if it's a human player. I wonder if that changes its behavior and how it fights. That makes sense. Just from a design standpoint, because this is like not a typical use, right? We're behaving a little differently. And if the computer could just win for you on those maps, then that wouldn't be much of a challenge. So they probably have a slightly different behavior. Interesting. I think I cracked the code. Oh my gosh, look at that strike. That's amazing. So much value. I don't know what they're trying to accomplish with an infantry unit there when it could be used as a blocker, but here we are. Good first strike. Going to do a lot of anti-air damage. There's the motorcycle. Good health. 2 damage there. Nice to know the defense values. 2-year-old plus HP. Okay, we're still flipping these. We still have pretty good control over the sea. It's weird. They built a bunch of raft units and they kind of forgot about it. Oh, the ordering! Oh, good job, AI. And we are starting to flood the board with just units, but we haven't really gotten a game state update. So if the game is going to flood like this, it's probably orange that's going to win just because it's not hard to get value out of it. It's also the easiest power to use in the game. Objectively. We're looking at that right there. Okay. Oh my, that's so much value. Only did 1 damage there. Wait, is luck a thing again? Oh, or it does like 15%. Okay, okay. Because it's always the same amount of damage. Yeah, luck is not a thing. Okay. Luck is an advanced worse. If you're unfamiliar with luck and advanced wars, it's a 1 to 10 random roll on most characters. Some have good luck, some have bad luck. It'll affect your combat damage. That's about it. And there's some other nuances with damaged units and whatnot, but we're not here to talk about advanced wars. We're trying to figure out this AI. Okay. Clogging everything over there. Why? Why would you build that unit? So for starters, we're clogging with orange, trying to push up into blue. That's going to take a while. But then we build an anti-air versus armored units. Not light armor units, like medium. Weird. Because it chose to attack the doctor there because it does a lot of damage, doesn't take a lot of return damage, and it's a very valuable unit to begin with. This is 4,000. One of those. No, I think there's the infantry as well. That is valuable. Gold wise. Game state wise, I'm not sure you can make the same statement. Ooh, rockets. Ooh, that could change it because that does a lot of damage if they're able to keep them protected. That's a good infantry trade. A lot of gold to be had. That wasn't a kill. Also, I believe last time they didn't care about the terrain. It seems like they are avoiding a lot of the road tiles. Unless that's the only way to attack a unit. So that's good. Massive amount of kills here. I wonder if we'll get this team achievement for destroying 1,000 units. Because apparently they're not supposed to be on, but I was able to get a bunch earlier, so we'll see. We'll see. Not a particularly strong attack there. The flamethrower is going to be fantastic with how much of an infantry clog there is, but they keep attacking the artillery. Yeah, it looks at the unit value more than anything. Not if it's an effective strike. Interesting. Go to between units there. Are we going to get any more anti-air here for the plane? No? Yeah, it looks like our buddy Jackson is not going to win. Just losing too much value. At which point it'll be a who gets to collect their base. Because that'll be a good chunk of income. Oh, anti-air, I missed that. For the rage anti-air, the missiles of this game. Forgot about that tank still down there. Just so much clock. Ooh. Another rig going town. That's important. Okay, so they're not gonna lose that helicopter. It'll take a little bit of damage, probably. I'm wondering if Flint will sack it to just deal a bunch of damage. Values being able to keep it. So much gold. They build another naval unit. Interesting. Well, it's relatively uncontested down there, so if they can get some more value, that's more money a turn. Some value has been able to get out of these medics, but it has not been the 4,000 gold that normally would. But at the same time, we're very flooded in the board, so just putting another infantry doesn't necessarily make sense. Being able to keep them healthy is nice. Okay, I see it, I see it. Yeah, it's a lot of gold. That delaying that strike is really helpful. Also, these rafts taking damage means it's going to be harder for the fort to be flipped. Don't get why the missiles is moved like that. I'm wondering if it was in striking distance of the copter, but they don't really protect them well enough. Also, I haven't pointed it out yet, but you can see the direction the units face is particularly interesting. It's not on which half of the screen is their starting location. It just seems to be one direction. I wonder if it's compared to the human player, because the only one that's moving is Flint towards the right. Ooh, there we go. Gonna be a lot harder to take that base location. Didn't attack. Another raft. Okay, so they do go for the flip there. Rockets goes in. More tanks go down. These neutered helicopters don't seem to be getting too much value. Boom. Wonder if those attacks being flipped would have been better so the light vehicle and the tank could hit just a little bit harder. Trying to deny some value in the center. Prefer the arty versus the tank. Probably a good call. There we go. Like first sniper, I believe, to go down. Trying to get more and more value out of Flint. Here's the thing though, if it's a Blaze versus Flint battle, Blaze should win because they'll just heal the damage from the strike. Plus some. And being able to heal your captured cities is absolutely massive. Weird that they did the anti-air on anti-air. So they pulled it back and did the light recon, that probably would have killed. Maybe it was more about how much damage they received. No, if they kill it, then you won't take any damage. Maybe the math's just wrong because it's an opponent's style. Bunch of value being recuperated. Ooh, copters down to 1. Being able to flood both locations is pretty good. Okay, more damage is being done. If you're able to flip the city back, disabling is pretty important. And they have to push through this rocket too. That's going to be hard for them to do with how injured their units are. Deckers can get flanked soon by orange here if they're not careful. Sniper taking that out. Ooh. Now they can start raking in some of this value. Look at how much damage that was. Just one to everything, took out a unit. Everything's still pretty effective at night, so it's not going to be too impactful, but still a good wide array of damage is always nice. Oh my gosh, look at that damage. What a push, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. We're 30 minutes in and no one's gone down. That's absurd. How long was my last one? I'm just curious at this stage. It was 49 minutes. Okay. This is clearly going to take longer, which I'm not sure if that means... well, it probably does mean the CPU is smarter, but... we have to see if we can create a winning game state. Orange has the most cities, but they don't have any oil rigs. and they still have to fight for their harbor because they weren't able to use a sniper to take out any of the rafts. What a weird movement decision. I don't get how that positionally helps them, but okay. Also, why wouldn't you build an anti-air when there's 2 choppers in your base? That's insane. Like straight insane. So the weird thing is, Blue's starting to lose it, right? Like, they're getting pushed in to their base, stuff's starting to get attacked, etc. So whoever is able to take out that last unit, everything goes great, and now they can start capturing stuff. We know everyone has more than enough infantry, and then they have to be able to defend it. No landers, by the way, have been built. It looks like they don't value the center. It's incorrect. Yeah, if you guys want me to go ahead and do my own play, and I'll play as one of the characters, see how long it takes me, or if I experience anything different, we can do one of those runs. Just to leave a comment below. I know some people found this pretty interesting, so yeah, I'll go ahead and do it again. You know that it's been a while. No anti-air again, just more artillery and unit flood. Oh, talk about the damage. Ooh, are they able to get to the rockets? If they can get to the rockets, that's massive. They are, but they don't do any damage because it's a silly helicopter. It's already damaged from the power. That rocket's pushing into Jackson's base is very massive. Decker's also starting to get pushed in. Oh, taking out the sniper. Over here. More battlecopters. No jets or bombers. Interesting enough. Ooh. Massive. Massive attack right there. Oh, that's pretty massive too, being able to take out a tank. Okay, so is Flint going to do the majority of the damage but not be able to take over the base, which means Blaze will be able to get it? That would be crazy. Ooh. That's a lot of damage. There we go. That's the correct move. The anti-air. Sniper's pretty valuable there. Still a good like 10% on the tanks, so worth having. 10%, that's 900 gold, so 900, 1800, 27, 35. 4 attacks on sniper on a tank is neutral in gold. Or killing like 3. Unit there, whatever. They're starting to be attacking more core parts of their base. Ooh, taking out the rocket is huge. And there's the raft. do like 40% of their bases. That's important. And getting that copter in there as well. Oh, they're gonna get a retaliatory strike from their copter. Battlecopter and battlecopter action. We're still flipping these harbors like back and forth. Ooh, finally attacking it. Now we'll be able to flip it, and Blaze will potentially start getting value out of their enablers. Ooh. No infantry can be built next turn by Jackson. We'll have to build something else. That's a good hit. We're trying to recapture space to stem the bleeding. Won't be enough for sure. Able to take out the rocket. Oh, that's so nice for them. Yeah, his push isn't going to be quite enough. Ooh. Okay. What? Nani? Notice it did not move any of its debuffed units. Couldn't attack. Doesn't mean it can't move. It's not frozen. No, interestingly enough, we can see some of the unit value. Right, we can see it's like 9 instead of 10. But we can't see any like the sub amount. So we can't see it's like 31. So if we did 31 damage, we know if it would take out or whatnot. That's something I really thought about. Oh my gosh, that's huge. Taking out all those infantry. Getting a nice solid push over here. Built a raft. Okay. Jackson's trying to take over some oil rigs. That's not going to be enough. Those recons could be potentially nice. Ooh, it lost its airport. Thanks to the attack from Blaze, they were able to switch it over. We'll have to see how Blaze decides to use their tank. Those rafts are gonna do diddly. You know what? Sacking a copter do 1 damage to the enemy copter. I think that's good. Ooh, gonna be able to just retaliate as much as they want. Anti-air is disabled for several turns now. More units taking casual damage. Just why do you need so much infantry? Ooh. Ooh, this is getting nasty. The Queen of Value herself is just getting a lot of value. As the infantry to take over the units, able to start flipping stuff. Jackson has to try and stem the bleeding. I don't think 7 would be enough to take it. 5 certainly isn't enough to do. Well, you do 40 normally, and 5 is half of that, so that still might be enough to take over the airport. There's not that many units left from Jackson, and that will snowball stuff out. Decker is probably going to be the next one out because he's not going to be able to get any of this value on top of it. Which is crazy to think about, just because they got that oil rig super early. Yeah, they're fighting Blaze. They have a bunch of infantry, but those anti-air should be one-tapping. Ooh. Not worth it. A $7,000 unit attacking a 9,000 one. Dying to deal 7 damage. Not worth it. That unit's garbage. I see why the AI just, like, refuses to attack with it sometimes. Okay. If they attack with that tank and it goes neutral on that one location, it's an order lull moment. Okay, it's not an order lull. The artillery's gonna help break through stuff. Got some more rafts to try and take over the area. We've got a helicopter to help protect against stuff as well. Wondering if I made the map too big. This is a 41 minutes and we're not close to the end. Interesting. Holy moly. Talk about value. Talking about Blaze being the queen of value, that's probably the king of value right there. Holy cow, that was so many units taken out. Take for granted they were probably like infantry and whatnot, but just being able to declog your opponent's board so that you can just take things over, phenomenal. And they might finally be able to hold that city, which is going to be more gold into their hands. Probably not, just because everything else is landing. Unfortunate. These copters have prevented enough gold from being generated that it's actually was worth building, and the game's going at a slow enough pace. They attacked and then healed. Oh. CPU acting very wise. This is starting to look like a Blaze victory. Another crucial thing to consider is Jackson's sniper's also down, so he won't just have like an inert turn where he can't do anything. Again, if I didn't say it earlier, the reason why I had the snipers over there so they can kill my unit, everyone has the same amount of unit charge, so I'm not giving any computer any extra advantage over another. Went to protect the facility rather than take out a unit. Interesting choice. Pulls back some units over. I don't. Okay. Keep me under the copter. Okay, good flank attack there. I don't get why they're leaving their artillery that exposed as well. Moves in front of the enemy raft but doesn't attack. Misclick. Misclick by the computer. Obviously. Ooh, Decker's starting to lose gold now. Ooh. Like attack. They're going to be guarded by that as well. The artillery, tanks pushing, anti-air, building a raft as well. Probably not that important to take rafts at this point. Nothing to do with these copters. I think I can combine the 9 and 2. That'd be a smart thing to do. Yeah, the computer never combines, and they never heal their units, other than with the medic, but that's how the unit works. Oops. Exposed your rocket. Some public indecency, I guess. Interesting. They're leaving before. It was all in the snow plains tile, but they're putting on this, so they're just getting random attacked. I wonder if it's a map positioning thing, because that's impacted stuff before, but I can't be certain. Oh, blazes. Also, that attack made no sense. $4,000 unit attacking a $9,000 unit to take like 8 or 9 damage. No, to deal like maybe 1. No. Yeah, taking 4 damage to deal 1. No. Yeah, this is firmly Blaze's territory right now. Why would you do? Okay, I think the AI at a certain point when they can't make any more units and they're all low, they just go, no, just take me up, bro. Yeah, it doesn't have to be on a date. Those attacks made no goddamn sense. What the hell? Why would you swing in to die? Like, do you need the charge power to activate your power? That makes sense. But we didn't do that. Getting some wicked flank attacks. So many arties and tanks, but they're also injured. Oh my goodness. Yeah, firm control of the center. Oh, that's 4 oil rigs plus an extra base. Oh, I want them to kill the unit last so bad. They didn't kill the unit. If they just killed the unit, everything flips over. I can't believe they don't consider that at all. We're 47 minutes in, almost 48 minutes. This is where we basically ended the game last time, and we've effectively eliminated 1 player. Although I think Decker's gonna go next. I think that artillery was in range to attack normally, so the fact that it moved into melee range versus infantry is a decision that was made. Yeah, Decker's forces are pretty small at this point, and the value that they had from their oil rigs is, well, gone. Taking over more and more bases. Hey! Actually, Jackson might not be done. They might still have a helicopter. We'll have to see if their turn gets skipped at all. Big spending turn from there, yeah. They build anti-air because there's copters. Smart. But they're right on top of your bum. And you can't attack with them because they won't be in range. It's just, you need to build the other ones, obviously. So it's nice to know that the computer does not take in account your unit being attacked when you build it. That's just like a minor tweak that they should probably include. It's like an edge case, and that's a lot of what coding is, to be fair. Like figuring out edge cases. Okay, so we're pushing more and more here. How's Blaze gonna react with their copter here? Okay, first strike value, pretty good. Going back to that Their army's pretty split up. Another rocket. Okay, okay. Interesting maneuver there. I don't know why you play your copter back, because it's still subject to being attacked. You don't have any anti-air to protect. Might as well get an attack. Do something with it. Also, one other thing, like, if you have a game that you did on Live League or anything else you've done in the game, I'd be willing to cast it as well. Just to leave a link in the comment section saying please commentate my match. I can do that as well. It should be a little bit more interesting than the CPU battle, because right now it's just like, do they generate value? Hold the phone. Is that a friggin' frigate? And an 18k unit. Just losing like half of its value instantly. It's kind of annoying that they don't have cruisers in this game. There's no naval unit that can attack aircraft, which is mind-boggling for it to not be in the game. Also, mechs not being in the game is also mind-boggling, in my opinion. Mechs were in the game, it would really change how combat operates as a whole. Because tank spamming wouldn't necessarily be objectively correct. There would be like other options to fighting vehicles. Just saying. Pushing forward. It's going to take a while for those rockets to move to Decker's base, being we're on tires, not on treads. Another anti-air, don't necessarily know why that is, but you can throw away gold if you're just producing twice as much as your opponents. Sorry. We're able to recapture that as well, because we had to move our copter in. There's more copters for them to take, no anti-airs to harass them in return. Jackson has been dead for a while, I haven't mentioned that as well. We're pushing. Look at those tank lineups, trying to retake Blaze's base. We should be able to hold against the Armada. Only time will tell. This base is being threatened below. They're going to have a little bit of a difficulty taking it due to the sheer number of tanks. But there's still a chance. 1 HP ref. Not going to do that much, but we're doing it nonetheless. Pushing forward. We're on the road now. They should be able to move and then attack in the following turn, or at least threaten damage on any retaliation. Okay, yeah, no, the base is much stronger than I expected on Blaze's corner there. Yeah, see, Decker's respecting the terrain differences, unlike everyone else in that section, which I find very, very interesting. Re-flipping some of the bases. We've got, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units left from Decker. They're not going to be there for that much longer, which will free up a lot of what's going on. Oh my goodness, are all of the oil rigs at this stage gonna be owned by Blaze? Also, the frigate being healed up. Massive play. They're gonna be able to take over the sea so much quicker that we would take out these rafts basically for free. Good sweep of damage to try and slow down Blaze's progression. Probably not going to be enough, but could secure second place. Oh, that tank didn't have that much to begin with, so not able to do that much to the artillery. Able to take things out over there. Infantry, not the greatest versus tanks. Still trying to maintain this oil rig. Oh, an Excite Bike. Disabling a lot of those units. They're not going to be able to push into Blaze. Already down. Taking more and more damage. That being said, I don't think they have any HP on their barracks. Oh no, they do. They have 1 infantry. So they can recapture stuff for a little bit. But once the infantry is down, it'll be virtually impossible for them to get any infantry at that stage, because at worst they can just neutralize the base and then never build any. So targeting infantry is going to be really important for, well, everyone at this stage. It really hampers the capture phase of the game. Well, not necessarily the capture phase, the reward for beating out your opponent. Oh, that's nasty. Being able to build in your opponent's base is super nice. They aren't able to take out the infantry there. But if they damage it to 4, I won't be able to flip it. Back. Let's see, Decker's game state. Not going to be a very long turn. They do have a copter still to move around and harass. Oh, they're going to have 2. Oh, that's good. That's good news for them. Okay. Oh, all 4 being owned by Blaze right now. Why would you move the... Around the corner would have been fine. Did I miss a bomber being built, ladies and gentlemen? Because that's crazy. That is going to do so much damage. We've seen how they can barely manage to deal with battle copters. Bombers is going to be so much worse. There we go. No longer after being able to build any unit other than battle copters. You try and save for other stuff. They never build transport. I don't think they ever started getting transport. Yes, this bomber is like this. Anyways, It seems the best way to win is like basically the same way you want to win versus a human opponent. Generate more value than your opponent and sustain that value and push forward. Inventory blobs, we've seen they just kind of get eaten through. You can use them as a little bit of a cushion for your vehicles, and then use your vehicles to do big retaliatory strikes. Death balls, definitely the way you want to be playing a lot of these matchups. So many things were being built that turn. That's absurd. Okay. Ooh. Now we have just the battle copters left. Let's see what lasting damage can be done and who's going to be able to get Decker's base. Decker is pretty much cemented in third place unless they're able to hide a copter in a corner. Pretty difficult. Also, Decker's sniper's still alive. Okay, that was a decision. Okay, denying the value, taking out the copter. There's still one copter left. Attacking the anti-air. Or the missiles is what I've been calling it for this match. Yeah, the Blazing Blade's probably gonna win out this one. Also, like, bombers make no goddamn sense. When there's 3 anti-air right there. So about that sniper. Probably gonna be going sometime soon with the missiles. Okay. Not bad. Getting some first strike there, that's pretty important. Ooh, wasn't a kill there. So it was damaged enough to begin with. We're over an hour in. Damn. Damn. Massive disable before they're going to be leaving this match. Decker, the double agent, gonna be getting third place or second to last. Not able to maintain the base here. Flint's going to be losing out on more value. Bomber's not going to be doing a whole lot there because they're just too low. Weird pause. Let me look at the CPU right now. Okay. Yeah, everything's pretty low. The reason why I'm doing this is I did a different test on a 100x100 map that I built. Absolutely gorgeous map. Love the sprites and everything. But after turn 4, the game would just freeze. I was wondering if part of it was because of the unit count. And, well, we've been seeing a lot of units here. So I don't know why that one was freezing. And it wasn't after, like, the first turn. It took a while for it to build up. So that's why I was thinking it was the unit count. Unless there's something else that's being stored in memory that's never, like, freed, or... But... No, C-Sharp is a garbage collector. So I don't know what that would be. Anyways. No retaliatory force. Do you think they would try and do the anti-air, just protect them with the copters? Nope. Going for the artillery, which is worth less than the anti-air. I guess they saw they could attack with the tank. Sure. think we have a pretty decided winner. It's just about how long it's going to take. And it's about the power. Basically, the reason why Blaze won is because of the power. If we switch Blaze for a different hero, we would do that. All right. Oh yeah, I don't believe you can select the Ice Queen as someone, which I found particularly interesting. The mind control guy, definitely get not balanced to someone you should be able to pick. The other ones, yeah, I don't know. I'd be interested to hear that reason. Okay. Decker's base is neutral. Will be producing no value in turn. Now, if we do leave him alone long enough, he might get his power, get a little bit of charge every turn. It would probably be a while. But you do get a little bit of charge. Another bomber, my goodness. Interested in no jets. I find that interesting. Still getting some value out of that bomb. That's very nice to see. What? We're doing the tank shuffle? It's just... You get more movement than one square! What the heck? I'm wondering if there's just so many units it doesn't know how to move. And the way the turn order had done it, already processed some tanks, and then... It just was like, oh, I can only move one square because there's a unit blocking, even though if they moved a unit beforehand, it could have moved just fine. Okay. We're pushing. We're still doing the classic flips. What an unfavorable attack. Still can't believe the AI does some of those. Doing a bombardment to try and take that. That makes sense. Are we gonna do tank shuffle? No, I moved the furthest front facing one. I don't know what the hell it's thinking. Why it built from that corner too is also interesting because like it should be building from the other bases. Yep, just the one copter. Full HP though. There we go. Using our full movement. Insane. You could have been there like now attacking. You didn't do the weirdest movement I've ever seen in my life. Oh, too low HP. Oh my god, it's gonna take it out. Nope. Not gonna be flipping it. Trying to retake back some of those saves that were flipped neutral. Good spot shots out too with that sniper, which is pretty nice. Could you imagine how long this would take if I left animations on? Absurd. Still getting more value. Hopefully they can take out that anti-air, or the missiles I should say. Otherwise their chopper's gonna take some damage. Well, I guess it's at 1 HP, so not as big of a deal as they make it out to be. Why did you move the tank backwards? I can't... Couldn't have been blocking anything. It's the next unit that moved. It was dead free range. Also, interestingly, no battleships. We'll build bombers, but not battleships. To be fair, there's not a lot of naval battles, and the one that does matter is the Last Stand, with the most impactful naval battle, and the way the powers and everything line up mean you will never win the naval battle, because screw you, mind control. Before I'm taking that full base, not a lot of infantry left from Blaze as well, which is particularly interesting. Okay, normal movement there, love to see it. Wasn't going to go and take out the base, went for the first strike there. Understandable, it's going to be in range of that artillery, but turns out a lot of value to be had here by moving forward. Finally did build that battleship now that they have basically complete control of the entire navy. So they don't have to worry about it being attacked at any point. Decker is down, and just didn't mention it. Other things are going on the screen. Yeah, it's just the push of pushes. How many turns will it last? If you've made it this far, thanks for listening to my rambling and my other analysis. So it seems like the way it's still building seems to be the same. It's building more units, or at least better. It is taking some level of competition to respect ranges. It's still obviously probably a little too much in my opinion. I want to like supporting stuff but it will be some different strategy capture a bunch of their base, but that's just not going to matter when Flint's going to get clapped by all this stuff. Boom, boom. I don't think there's any... Can I control the mouse with this? No, that was just a coincidence. They have 1 anti-air unit, 2 battle copters. Yeah, no, this is just... That's GG. They haven't even built their units yet, folks. Yeah, the reason why my game was logging up before can't possibly be a unit decision because clearly the orange can handle it. We've seen my computer handle it just fine. I did leave a note about that issue in the bug bash thread that the game has on Steam, just to let the developers know, I'm like, hey, you might not have multi-threaded this, which is either might be a bug or design flaw, which is fine. So we've got 2 helicopters left. How does the game handle this? It's probably just gonna like try and not die. Oh, it's got one stuff. Fighter got it earlier. What's one gonna do? Okay. Yay! An hour and 17 minutes in, and we have a decision. There's one thing I am curious about at this particular stage. Okay, we're gonna go to the game. Okay, no, any of the tanks and stuff that the CPU built did not count towards my thing because it says I've only built 8 tanks and there's more than 8 tanks there. So, good job to the devs and improving the AI. That was fun to watch. Probably won't do one of these again for a while, at least AI style, unless the human players involved. Take care.